So this is the area I want to work on. I keep most of all of my makeup in these 3 acrylic sets and some stuff on the bottom, and then I also have some palettes and things in that little mail holder thing, and then I have like all perfumes and stuff in this thing. But I'm thinking of putting my palettes in there instead, and maybe putting my perfumes into here because I also have palettes here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And basically I think I'm gonna keep my lips stuff the same because it's so well organized. So I'll probably leave all my lipsticks and things like that the same, but I'll probably switch out the foundations and empty everything else out and go through and purge what I use and what I don't use. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so here are the 2 acrylic drawer sets that I'm going to be emptying and organizing today. This is my main one that I go to for everyday makeup products, and it seriously is a mess and needs to be organized really badly, so we're definitely going to get our hands into this guy. And then this is a little mini one that I've had for a long time now, and I used to just keep like my eyebrow products and some concealers and basic face products in here, so I'm definitely going to be emptying that as well, and probably getting rid of at least 2 of these foundations, even though I really love these foundations and it's hard for me to bear with them because I have so many. But I'll be getting rid of some of that and maybe reorganizing like my eyeshadow pencils and lip liners and all of that that's in this cup. Also, like I said, I have an extra pair of lashes here. I have a bunch of palettes in here that I need to go through, and I probably won't throw any of my palettes away because I do use all of them. But I might throw this guy away because I don't really use them, but he's got that great orange color, so I'm not sure. And then I've got some stuff in here like primers and foundations. So I think it's time to get started here and start throwing stuff away. And like I said, I emptied that guy, and these are all the foundations that I had in there, so I'm going to go through that as well and get rid of anything I don't use or store it or I don't know. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, so now I have a couple more Maybelline foundations. This is the Super Stay Makeup and the Liquid Nude Foundation, which is really good for barely there coverage, and so is this one, but I just never really used these ones. I feel like my skin is too dry for them. They're not moisturizing enough, and they tend to make me look more porous and makes my skin feel more dry. So even though they were pretty good lightweight feeling foundations, I'm gonna go ahead and just give them away or throw them away because I never got around to really enjoying these ones so much, and I've had them for a while now, so I'm gonna get rid of these guys. I have 3 of the L'Oreal True Match Lumis. I love this foundation formula, and most of these I got from my mom, who's way darker than I am, so you can see like this will never match my skin tone. So unfortunately I have to get rid of these super dark ones, the W6. This one's W6 too, but I'm gonna keep the N4. It might still be a little dark for me, but for the summer I can use it, and like I said, I love the finish of this foundation, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one. Then I have these 2 other foundations. This one is the Youthful Wear Spotless from Physicians Formula, which came in a dropper like this. It's kind of, oh, look at, it's so old that like the cap won't even open right. It comes in a dropper like this. It's like a serum foundation, but again, I feel like I don't like the way that this feels on my skin because it is so sheer and lightweight, and I find that with dry skin I like something a little more creamy and more hydrating, and I never use this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of this guy too. And then this one you saw me do a review for, I think it was just last week, and yeah, I don't love this foundation at all, but because I just bought him, I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna give him a couple more tries and see how he works out. But yeah, I wasn't loving it, to be quite honest. You see it says oil free. I need something with oil. Like give me the oil. Anyways, so yeah, so these are all the foundations that I'm keeping out of that whole collection. So these are all the things I'm keeping from this small acrylic organizer. And before I actually organize it, I'm just going to put everything back so I can move on to the next one. And then once I know, and once I go through and get rid of things that I don't want, I'm going to go in and clean everything and make everything look organized. But for now, we're going to just keep this guy aside. I want to go in now into this little pouch that I was keeping primers in. And I'll start with this primer. This is the BB cream from L'Oreal. I sort of like this guy. I want to give him a couple more tries. I did find that my skin got a little bit oily when I used him, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So I think I'm going to stick with him for a little while longer just to give him a try and see how he works out. So he's going to stay. This BB cream Magic Skin Beautifier from L'Oreal I've had forever. I really liked it on my skin. I don't think that it primes like it says it does, but it does give you a nice sheer coverage. But I've had it for a long time now and I don't use it anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. And I don't even consider it a BB cream because it's so lightweight and watery. But yeah, this guy's getting chucked. Next is the 210 Ready Set Gorgeous foundation that I used for my St. Patrick's Day makeup tutorial. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out so you can see how extremely light this was. This is a medium beige, but when I put it on my skin, I'm usually a medium beige girl. It was white, like so completely white, and it just was like alabaster. I don't understand. So I'm gonna maybe give it to my older sister who has lighter skin and see if she'll enjoy it, but that's getting removed. Then I have two hard candy primers, which I kind of enjoy these when I'm not test trying new primers. They're kind of like good backups to have for just basic primers. I have one in Perfecting and Illuminating. I prefer the Illuminating one over the Perfecting one because I feel the Perfecting one really doesn't do much for me. But because it's newer, I'm just going to go ahead and keep both of them. So this is everything I'm keeping from the little bag. So that is that. Then all the stuff that has my palettes. I honestly don't think I'm going to be getting rid of any of these palettes. Even this palette, I've had this palette for years. It was the very first round compact from Tarte. It's like super beat up now because I've had it forever. But I still use it. I still love to use the Fifth Avenue Princess bronzer, and then, or is it Park Princess? Or I forget, one of them. And then the highlighter. Yeah, I kind of forget their names. The eyeshadows I do use every now and then, especially this brown color. It's a really good kind of like neutral blending shade. So even though he's really old and beat up, I still love this palette. I've had him for years and I'm going to keep it. And then I have all three of the Maybelline Nudes palettes, so I'm going to keep those. I have this NYX palette that if I get rid of any palette from this collection, it will probably be this one. But I don't know, because it's got this great like white shadow and this nice kind of eyebrow, under the eyebrow shade, that it's kind of hard to find with my other palettes, believe it or not. So I think I'm going to keep him for a little while longer just because he's pretty basic. And sometimes if I need to travel, this is a good one to just toss in my bag. Then I got this like baked eyeshadow shimmer palette I got from my mom like about a year ago or 2 years ago, and I still love it. I love to just do neutral eye looks with this and then put like a nice frosty eyeshadow over my eye look. And these two are my favorite, especially this one. It's like this really pretty champagne gold color, so I'm definitely keeping him. This palette, I should probably get rid of this palette. This was one of my first like high-end makeup eyeshadow palettes. Started YouTube, I definitely used this palette a lot for some of my looks, and the color payoff is so good still after years of having this. I've had it for about 5 years, maybe even longer, and it's hard for me to say goodbye to them because the colors are just still so vibrant and so rich and creamy that it's just hard for me to let them go, even though I really never use them. But because they're still such good quality, they haven't dried out on me at all by any means, I'm gonna actually keep this guy, believe it or not. Then in the back I have my L'Oreal Nudes palette that I don't really use this very often, but when I do, I'm always like surprised at how good the eye look comes out. So I really love this palette a lot. This is the only one I have from the palettes. It's nude too, and I like it a lot. And then also this Tarte palette that I got last summer, which I'm not getting rid of because I love the blush on there. And the eyeshadows I can do without, but I'm going to keep it for now for another year or so. And then these lashes I just got, so I'm keeping those. And this was the last bastion of my Wet n Wild compact eyeshadows. And because I depotted every single compact that I had from Wet n Wild, I had like a stack of them, and I depotted them all and put them into a different eyeshadow palette. But this is the only one I kept because it had like weird shaped eyeshadows, so I think I'm gonna keep them just as a reference. If I need an orange or a yellow, I know that I have something like that on hand. These two eyeshadows from Wet n Wild I am gonna go ahead and get rid of. This is just a basic kind of bone colored eyeshadow that I never really use, and the color payoff is really not that great. And then this is a basic black eyeshadow that I got just to have a nice black eyeshadow on hand, but I'm not loving the color payoff on it. It's really drying, and I have both of these colors in other palettes, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of them. Okay, so I got rid of everything in there, and now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of everything that's in this makeup drawer. So let me get rid of all the stuff I'm throwing away. Oh, these are some of my other palettes that of course I'm keeping, because this is the Too Faced Bordeaux Eyes and the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, which I'm obsessed with still. So keeping that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw all this away and make room for this guy. Okay, so here is the last acrylic drawer that I need to go in and declutter, and a lot of the makeup that's in here I got within the last year or so, so a lot of stuff is new, so I don't know if I'm going to be getting rid of too much in here, but I will try my best. I do want to keep this thing organized though, so let's go ahead and jump in. In the top drawer I have this small thin drawer full of my lashes, which I think I might relocate to this guy later on, but for now he's just going to stay here until I'm ready to organize, because I don't plan on getting rid of any of these lashes or glue. A lot of them are brand new, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that the same for now. Then in this top drawer I have all of my like eyeliners and mascaras on this side, and concealers and brow stuff sort of on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all of my mascaras because I've had some for quite a while. This Brow Drama I just got, so I'm going to be keeping him. I just got this guy as well, so I'll be keeping him. My CoverGirl Lash Blash I need to think about. I just bought this Great Lash, so I'm going to keep that. My Voluminous, oh, I love this mascara, but I think my Voluminous and my CoverGirl I've had for, let me see. Oh, I haven't had them for 6 months yet, so I think I'll keep both of them actually. But this mascara I have had for 6 months, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of him. This eyeliner was a recent purchase, but I hate it so much. I just don't like it, so I think I'm going to give it to my mom or something. So he's getting out of here. This eyeliner, the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Pen, I love it. I'm going to keep him. My Real Techniques Beauty Sponge, keeping that. This is another liner I got from Maybelline. I hated it, so I'm going to re-gift that as well. Then I have this basic black eyeliner that I got from like Five Below, and I used it at first a lot in the beginning, but I've had it for I think about a year now, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. I have this CoverGirl Intensify Me pen liner, and it's got like this weird shape on it, and I didn't love this. It's still fairly new, but I'm going to give it to my mom or sisters, so getting rid of that. The CoverGirl, what is this? Color Stay Liquid Liner. It looks like that. It's like a pen. It's okay. I don't love it, but for the sake of having a felt tip liner on hand, I'm going to keep him. And then my ColourPop gel liner that I love, I'm keeping him for sure. So those are going back in here. for now. Okay, and then in this drawer, I have my baby skin, which is new, so I'm going to keep him. My CoverGirl Ready, Set, Gorgeous concealer, which is way too light for me, so I'm going to give that to my sister. My True Match concealers, which I'm obsessed with still. I'm keeping both of those. Love those. Then I have these Fit Me concealers, which I've had for so long that I think they're old and dried up, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. I have this LA Girls concealer stick that I still want to play around with, so I'm not going to get rid of it. My Anastasia brow pencil. I love this pencil. I use it every time I do my brows, so that's staying. My e.l.f. eyebrow kit, which is my favorite brow product ever, and that is definitely staying. Then I have a couple of Maybelline Eye Studio gel liners. One of them is brand new, and one of them is really old. So, excuse me while I see which one is the new one. I think this is the old one. And let me check this one. Oh no, this is the old one. So that one's getting thrown away because he's super old and disgusting. And the new one is going to stay. And then I just have like this random ColourPop eyeshadow. So I might have to relocate him to like where I have all my eyeshadow. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. And put all of my concealers and brow products back in here. Okay. Now this drawer, it's not very well organized. The last two drawers are not that organized. This is like kind of my, well, except for this lip product, but this is kind of like my high-end makeup slash pressed powders or something. I don't know. I'm keeping my True Match pressed powder because I love this stuff. I'm keeping this smoothing balm from Tarte. Actually, maybe I should toss it. It's so used up. I really love this formula. It worked really good for the winter. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep him a little while longer and see if I can get some more use out of him. And then I'll probably throw him out after another few months. This color corrector that I just got from Wet n Wild, I'm going to hold on to him just so I can play around with him a little bit more. But so far, I'm not loving it at all. So, yeah. My What's Up highlighter, I love. I'm just going to keep him in here. And then this NYX eyeshadow base, I love this stuff, so I'm going to keep him. And then this setting powder from Tarte, which I don't exactly love, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. And then in here I have my Tarte Amazonian Clay powder foundation. I'm going to keep him even though my skin is very dry, but maybe my little sister will take him, so keeping him. My Born This Way foundation, I love this foundation, so I'm definitely keeping this guy. My Lumi foundation cushion, I'm definitely keeping this one as well. I love this foundation so much, so I'm keeping him. And then a setting spray that I got from e.l.f., which I just bought, and it's the only setting spray I have right now, so I'm going to go ahead and keep him too. So I'm just going to put everything back. Not much got thrown away from this. I don't think anything got thrown away from that little area. And then in the last drawer, I have this loose powder from Maybelline that I used to set under my eyes when I would do eyeshadow looks, but I feel like I never use it anymore, and I've had it for so long, and it takes up so much space, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. I just got this blush from NYX, so I'm going to keep it. This is kind of like my blush, contour, and blushes area. My Makeup Forever Sculpting Duo, I really like this, so I'm going to keep this. This was a highlighter I got a few years ago from Physicians Formula that doesn't have much color payoff anymore, and it's really old, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I have some extra beauty sponges that I'm going to actually put somewhere else because I never use these and they just take up space. And this is a really pretty bronzer from Sephora. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep this highlighter from Revolution Makeup London. And I'm going to get rid of these like extra brushes that I don't use. This is my Tarte Kabuki brush that goes with this foundation, which I might give to my little sister, so we'll see. I'll hold on to it for now. This is my Luminoso powder from Milani. I love this. I'm keeping that. My Hervana bronze blush. I love that, so I'm keeping that. this CoverGirl like instant cheekbones. I don't know, somebody on YouTube was raving about it, so I got it, and I really don't like it, so I think I'm going to pass this on. This thing, I hated this thing. I'm going to give the bronzer another shot, but I hate the highlighter. The highlighter doesn't show up at all, and it was very disappointing, but I'm going to give it a try again because I think the bronzer was okay, so I'm going to give him a try, so I'll keep him. This thing I've had for so long, but I love the highlighter on this, and this is something I got from Five Below, and it's basically like a trio, and I remember every time I used it last summer, I really loved the way that it looked. So yeah, I think that the highlighter still gives off a lot of good color. It's a little bit chalky, but I'm going to try to make him work. If he doesn't work in the next couple of months and it's too chalky, I'll end up throwing him away. This e.l.f. blush palette, if I can open it. There we go. My sister gave it to me. It's got a lot of deep tones, but I'm going to keep it because it's still fairly new, and I really love this color right here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And then I just have an extra compact mirror and then another brush, which I never use, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of him. So that's everything from there. Okay, so that's another pile of stuff that I got rid of from my organizer. Now I'm going to go and organize everything, and I'll show you how it turns out, because I'm probably going to moving all of these palettes and all of these palettes in here all into this silver holder thing. And then I have to do my brushes too, but I think I might do that in a separate video. So I'm going to go ahead and organize my makeup. I'll let you guys know how it turns out. So here's a quick sneak peek at the finished product. My brushes I still need to organize, but they're back there for now. I put all of my perfumes in a smaller container, so it takes up less space on my counter. Then I just have my nice pink lotion that I like to use before bed, and my crystals on this side. I moved all of those palettes that fit perfectly in this thing. Literally, they all fit. I have that thing empty now for other stuff. I left my eyeliners and stuff the same because I still use all of these and they're still fairly new, so that stayed the same. Then I kept my primers in here. I moved all of my leftover concealers and lip glosses in here, and this all stayed the same because I still use all of those. I emptied a complete one of those drawers, and I'm gonna get rid of that, so now I just have the two and then my palettes. And then this thing I emptied out and kind of kept it the same too. And yeah, there we go. There is my makeup declutter and organizing, and now I have to go and clean the rest of my room. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one.